We all know that having unprotected sex can give you STDs, like herpes or gonorrhea, but there's also one that can give you cancer, HPV, human papillomavirus. You can even get it through oral sex, which then can lead to oral cancer. It's still rare, but the numbers are rising and it's happening more in younger patients. I'm Jamie Winstone, and I know what it's like to watch someone close to me fight cancer. My good friend Paul had colon cancer and recently died. He was only 27. Margaret's a fellow at Christ's College. She dedicated her life to HPV research and has even been awarded an OBE for it. Pretty impressive stuff. I suppose the first thing I want to ask is, how do you get the virus, and what it is? What is it?
Well, HPV is a little virus that lives in the skin. You've got to remember that the skin just doesn't cover your outside. There's a skin-like covering in your mouth, your throat, your vagina, the anus, that's the back passage. So this virus lives in all those places. And it's a virus that doesn't get into the bloodstream. It only lives in the skin. So you get it basically from sex. So if you have vaginal sex, you get it in the cervix and the vagina. If you have anal sex or at the outside of the anus, you get it in the anus. And if you have oral sex, you get it in the mouth.
So oral sex isn't safe?
In a word, no.
No.
Lots of teens, particularly, have oral sex because they won't get pregnant. I have to tell them that's the only thing they won't get. I mean, oral sex is sex, and so you get transmission of whatever you've got on your genitalia, okay? And that includes HPV. Interestingly, it's easier for a guy to acquire HPV from his female partner than for a woman to get HPV from a man. So if a guy is having oral sex with a girl, he's more likely to acquire HPV in his mouth than the woman is likely to acquire HPV if she's doing a blowjob on.
You know, say if a guy was watching this now and he's had more than, 5 sexual partners or performed oral sex with 5 or more women or men, what would your advice be to him, to not send him into a panic of, oh my God, I've got HPV?
No, come on. First of all, it's a very common virus, You and I will have had it, or you're likely to get it. I'll certainly have had it. Just about everybody acquires this virus. Nearly all of us get rid of it. But there are about, 1 in 10 people who don't manage to get rid of the virus because their immune systems, for one reason or other, can't handle it. So the likelihood is you're fine. So don't worry. As they say in Dad's Army, don't panic.
Don't panic.
Don't panic. But there's a serious side to this, because in the last couple of years there's been a lot of information come out, and it shows that cancer caused by HPV in the mouth is higher than we thought, and more concerningly, it's going up at a very steep rate.
HPV, the human papillomavirus, is very common, and 80% of the sexually active population has it. It's usually spread through vaginal, anal and oral sex, which in some people could lead to cervical, anal and oral cancer. Cervical cancer kills.
Cervical cancer is now considered a sexually transmitted disease. Originally suspected as such, as it was supposedly found less in nuns and more in prostitutes, but now we have DNA fingerprinting proof that virtually all cervical cancer is caused by a sexually transmitted virus, human papillomavirus, which also causes cancer of the penis, vagina, vulva, and throat. HPV is considered a necessary, but not sufficient, cause of cancer. Most young women contract HPV, but most don't get cervical cancer, because their immune systems are able to clear out the virus. 70% of women clear the infection within 1 year, and more than 90% within 2 years, before the virus can cause cancer, unless you're immunocompromised or something. Well, if that's the case, maybe those with particularly strong immune systems might clear the virus even faster. That's what may be behind this new study that found that vegetarian women appear to have significantly lower infection rates with HPV. One of many studies reporting vegetarians having lower risk of HPV infection, thought to be because of the presence of more fruits and vegetables in their diet, which are rich sources of all sorts of good phytonutrients. So for example, if you take a bunch of women with cancer-causing strains of HPV infecting their cervix, and follow them out and retest at 3 months and then 9 months, while analyzing their diets, what do you find? Higher levels of vegetable consumption may cut the risk of HPV persistence in half, double one's likelihood of clearing this potentially cancer-causing infection, and higher levels just meant like 2 or more servings a day. Cervical cancer, through their role as antioxidants, phytonutrients like lutein, found in dark green leafy vegetables, and lycopene, the red pigment in tomatoes, may decrease viral load, thereby decreasing persistence and progression to disease. Whereas the protective associations may be due to their antioxidant properties, they have all sorts of other wonderful effects, so who knows, who cares? Bottom line, higher consumption of vegetables may decrease risk of HPV persistence, which may help explain why this 2013 study found vegan women have significantly lower rates of all female cancers combined, including cancer of the cervix.